stop, collaborate, and listen. Brandon's back with a brand new invention. So let's get on topic. He may not flow like a harpoon daily and nightly, and Mr. Finger might not be here to hold him nightly.
You prepared for that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Guys, how's it going? It's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and once again we are here at Trek Bicycle Store of West Phoenix to bring you another ridiculously entertaining toolbox
one will
topic.
be for sure.
Oh man! So I'm joined once again by my co-host Brandon Van Leuven. Brandon, how the hell are you?
Top of the morning.
Dude, he was not expecting that, guys. Now technically, Mr. Finger still is on vacation. We're waiting for a postcard, but to kind of go along with the skit that
Permanent vacation.
yeah, vacation. It's going to be one of those mornings. So, anyways, today, and we'll backtrack a little bit. This past Tuesday, which it's irrelevant because when you see this video, it's going to be weeks after the fact. I was mountain biking in South Mountain to do a trail video, and I stripped out my hub, basically. Destroyed all the splines inside.
Yeah, your drive ring stripped out.
Yeah. It's because I'm such a fucking badass today. That's what that is. But we'll talk more about that later. So what we are going to do, if you guys remember, for the longtime viewers, Jenny had the Kovee Carbons, but since Jenny has become the Zwift trainer bike, we're going to take the Kovee Carbons, we're going to put everything on the rims from Betty on those, and then Betty's going to get a new set of shoes in the form of Kovee Carbon XXX Bontrager rims, which are effing amazing. I've been using them for over a year now, and they're phenomenal. So, and of course, new tires, compliments and maxes.
All right.
Now, I say compliments and maxes. I paid for everything. Everything that we're going to use today, I'm either paid for or I'm going to pay for after we get done filming the show. We'll have links down below for the Maxxis tires and everything.
And you like the Ardens, huh?
Oh, I do.
All
These have
all
been treating me very, very well. Now, Brandon, what are some of the reasons, before we really get into the process and everything, what are some of the reasons why that would strip out? All joking aside and everything like that, why does that happen? What can we do to prevent something like that from happening? Or is it just a product of these were entry-level hubs that I hadn't done anything with since I bought the bike?
I've seen them done on high-end hubs as well.
Okay.
I think a lot of it has to do with some abuse. You're probably right about that. You ride a big bike that's got a lot of torque on it, and the threads on drive rings aren't particularly super
and I
coarse.
ride the shit out of it,
and
too.
you ride the shit out of it,
Yeah.
so it happens. I've seen it on along all brands.
Okay.
So
So
it's unfortunate, but it happens sometimes.
Right. I'm sure less often on more higher-end hub sets, like maybe Chris King's or even the Envies or
Never
something
seen it
like
on
that.
a Chris King before.
Right.
But all the other brands, I've kind of seen them here and there. Yeah.
So, and really no rhyme or reason, just they kind of wear out and the thread. Now, has the industry done anything to address this? I mean, if they know it's a problem, has it improved over the years, or are they pretty much like, just replace it when it happens?
I think we're still falling victim to, they want to make something that's affordable, that's light and strong, and you can't do all three things.
Right.
Something's got to sacrifice.
I'd rather have
and
strong and heavy.
People want light.
Right.
And so when you do that,
Pussies.
we're gonna sacrifice the strength.
Okay. Well, and that makes sense. So yeah, guys. So and here's the thing: when you're like Brandon, like myself, Wyatt, and everything, we have a lot of different bikes with a lot of different parts, and if we're fortunate enough, we can reuse those parts instead of paying retail for another set of carbon fiber rims. 29-inch rims. They're not cheap, and some people might go, well, the Bontragers, dude, they've been awesome to me for coming up on 14 months now. And they have an amazing warranty.
Great
so
warranty.
I have no complaint with the Bontrager brand carbon rims. But it's nice because now I can reuse those on the bike. And for some of those who might be saying, why put carbon rims on a mountain bike? Are you really worried about the weight? It's not necessarily the weight savings, but I can tell you these things spool up so fast because of their lightweight.
They're stiffer, they're stronger, they have nothing but advantage. They're expensive.
Yeah, they're expensive, yeah. That kind of advantage ain't cheap. So, how difficult is this process, Brandon? And talk about some of the tools we're going to be using.
It's not super difficult. The tools we're using are just basic tools that we all have in the shop. I'm going to need a set of chain pliers here to hold the cassette in place.
Okay.
I have my, it's actually a bottom bracket tool, but we're going to use this for the lock rings.
I think I've seen a set of these at Apex. No, I'm joking, guys. It's a kid's show. And don't ask me what Apex is. We're not having that conversation.
I was just going to ask you. Cassette removal tool.
I can show you. It's down by the airport, Brandon.
And just a Torx to get that 6-bolt rotor off.
Okay.
So let's get started, shall we?
Awesome. Yeah. So, guys, you know, as we've been doing it and everything like that, I'm going to kind of switch over to the handheld portion of the show.
Let's start with these cassettes, and then we'll do cassettes, we'll do rotors, and then we'll do tires.
Okay.
So this is where the chain
This
pliers
is why I
come
have
into
my
hand.
readers on, guys. So I can actually see.
So we need to remove the lock ring for the cassette, the direction of the drive. So I'm holding it in place with this, breaking it free. And now the entire cassette will come off of the free hub body. Moving on.
Moving on up.
Same one for this. This is a SRAM one, but this is the NX cassette, so
Right.
it is just using the normal Shimano type interface for the free hub body.
Okay. Now, guys, I'm still waiting for my my 52 to come in. Brandon, when's that supposed to come in?
I don't know.
You guys wonder why I keep coming back here, you know, because the coffee's hot and the donuts are fresh.
So cassette removal, super easy. We'll move on to your rotors. Where'd that little lock ring go?
Huh?
Oh, I see it. It's over there.
It's over here. Oh, I see it. I know, guys. I'm multitasking here. If you want perfection, watch Gerald Undone, which that is no joke. His stuff is friggin' awesome. So
Who's that?
he is an amazing YouTuber that, as far as reviews and the knowledge and the nerdiness, it's of epic proportions, and I absolutely love it. So he's a nerd after my own heart for sure. Really, really good dude, though. All right, so now we're removing the rotors.
Correct.
And if you guys are wondering why we're swapping the rotors, Brandon will show you a size difference between the mountain bike rotors and the 920 rotors.
Right, what do we got? 203s here, and I think you have 160s on the road
It's
one?
huge, guys. I want to be able to stop on the trail.
Okay. And it makes perfect sense on that e-bike
Right?
to have a nice big rotor for a ton of leverage and a ton of stopping power.
Yep.
Trying to keep everything organized here.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is the rear rotor, and Wyatt had just replaced it for me. What are some of the things as we're doing this particular job, or even though it's a swap, what are some things that people should remember and recognize as far as maybe care and maintenance of their rotor?
As far as installation is concerned,
Well,
or in
installation
general?
and things they could do to maybe get a little bit more longevity out of it.
Got it.
You know, we've talked about not getting solvents on there when you're hosing it down,
Perfect.
and this, that, and the other thing. Let's just give them kind of a reminder.
That was probably the main thing I was going to suggest. If you notice, I'm not going to handle the surface of the rotor.
Right.
I always use the insides here so I don't get anything on them.
Mm-hmm.
Even just the dirt on our hands, or maybe even the grease from doing other jobs, could potentially contaminate the rotor. So yeah, don't touch them. If you do your own maintenance at home, you like to clean chains using solvents and things. Make sure you're not overspraying. Best thing is really to take the wheel off of the bike if you're going to do, well, that's impossible, disregard. Just be careful not to spray over onto the rotor, especially in the back. Two things we see a lot of: people overspray lubrication onto the rotor, contaminating the pads in the rotor.
Right.
Or in the front, we see a lot of sport drink get spilled, especially
Yeah,
our,
as you were saying. Yeah. Which I'm not sure how that
especially
happens, dude,
triathletes
because
that
I
have
friggin'
that bottle up
Oh,
front,
yeah, I guess
and
with
it just
triathletes.
leaks and just drops down in there. So both of those things are pretty common
Because I only
contaminants.
drink water on the trail. I couldn't imagine drinking like a Powerade or something. It almost sounds like nauseating.
Yeah.
To me, anyways. But And you guys know how friggin' aspy I am, so what's normal for me is definitely not normal for the rest of the group.
So now's a good time to mention we are going to use a
Now's a good time to mention to hit that like and subscribe button.
All
What
right.
Brandon's trying to say.
All right.
Because I know some of you guys won't make it to the end of this video, and that's fine. I get it. You're pressed for time. A lot of stuff that you got going on in your lives, but it doesn't mean we don't want you to hit the like or the subscribe, or both actually, and the bell notification icon, because it helps out the video, helps out the channel immensely, and we really appreciate it. So
I'll need a little bit of leverage for this one. So.
all right, Brandon. All right, so continue, Brandon.
So we are going from a 6-bolt disc rotor to a center lock, and so you are, as you mentioned, going to purchase the correct rotor, but for the time being, we're going to use an adapter.
Right.
I'm not stoked on any adapters.
Yeah,
I hate
either am I, but to
adapters.
get back on the
So,
trail by this weekend, it has to be
For right
done.
now, we're going to use these DT Swiss 6-bolt to center
Okay.
lock adapters.
Hold those up. Hold those up. Let me get a good thing on there.
I said that in reverse. These are center lock to 6-bolt adapters.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Okay.
So.
Now.
And here's the visual difference between your two.
Oh yeah.
So definitely a difference in performance there, you know, as appropriate for the type of bike and riding you're doing.
Right. All right. Cool.
So we'll keep those off to the side. Again, even in the workbench, you try to keep them away from everything else.
Right.
So there's no contamination done.
So now center lock and a 6-bolt main. Has the industry tried to do anything to standardize the disc brakes, or is it just it is what it is?
I feel like that's what it is right now.
Okay.
Between the two configurations, I honestly don't see a difference in performance at all. I feel like the center locks is just a little bit easier. If you notice, it takes just a couple seconds to get the center locks on and off, whereas you got to kind of torque down all those six bolts each one.
Right. So from a maintenance standpoint, there's an advantage, but other than that, not much.
I'm not sure there is.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, there you have it. Brandon's our resident expert. Guys,
Oh,
don't look to
geez.
me to be the resident expert.
All right. So let's put those rotors on first.
Okay.
Here's how our center lock, or excuse me, we're going from those guys to these guys. Let's try this. So now we're eliminating those bolts. The molding of this particular adapter fits your old bolts.
All right.
Lock ring goes on. And again, I'll reiterate, I'll be happy when you get the right rotors put on this thing.
But who knows how long it's going to take for those sons of bitches to get here.
Torque that down, that's on.
Cool. Kind of give you guys a close-up of that. Put that shit in focus so you can see. Yeah, I'll be ready to rock and roll. Sunday hit that trail.
Difficulties.
Right.
Now, if you notice, there is a torque spec on this thing, I believe.
There's always a torque
Right
spec,
there, it's
Brandon.
40 Newton meter. I don't quite have the tool. Of course, I always like to recommend you use a torque spec, but I don't have a way to.
Not
measure
you,
torque spec
Brandon.
with
Not
this-
you
with
doing
this
the
guy,
proper
so-
torque spec.
Unfortunately.
Oh, that's too much fun.
All right, here we go. Now I'm gonna have to use these guys because SRAM doesn't do a very easy job of letting us see exactly where we need to be on the free hub body in some of those
Right.
little cogs. It's not always readily apparent which the configuration is. But there is only one way that this is going to go on. So they will not let you mess
Thank God
up.
for that.
Yeah, they will not let you mess up the shift ramping and the.
Now, as far as my derailleur adjustment, in case anybody's curious, there should be no adjustment because I'm going from same cassette to same cassette. So it should shift
cassette to
just
same
fine.
cassette. We are still going to put it in and go through a just a brief check as
Right.
well, because sometimes the hub spacing is just slightly different, and so this might be in or
okay.
out just a few millimeters, and that
Yeah.
could potentially
That
affect.
could screw it up.
Yeah.
I don't want to be cursing you on the trail like I was the other day, Brandon.
Oh man.
Like the gods must be crazy, just shaking that empty Coke bottle around. Yeah, if you guys remember that movie, you're definitely, I wouldn't say old. You're as old as Brandon and I. But
I was very little. We watched it in school.
yeah.
It was on a
watched it at
VCR.
home. Yeah. That's
and a
what I was
tube
saying. We
TV.
rented it.
Now it's just a matter of getting tires on.
All right.
We're looking good there.
All right, guys. So we're gonna cut out for a second. Obviously, we've transitioned back over to the regular camera angle.
And I'm wondering how much sealant you have in here. This could get messy.
Yeah,
That's
well,
all right.
it won't be too bad. Anyways, we'll fade back in once we get all this stuff done and everything, because you guys don't need to
Wanna open
necessarily
this?
see the us changing the tires, because it's boring. So, so yeah, we'll be back with you in just a second, guys.
This isn't too bad. So 2 things when we're lining up the tires.
Okay, so we're coming back in, guys.
One thing, we want to make sure that if they're a directional tire, that we're putting the direction on correctly.
Now, so you say directional tire, and I'm not. It's the tread pattern
Yes.
is what you have to look at to
Correct.
see the direction.
And they're designed to work a certain direction
Yeah.
on these bikes. Typically, if it's this one's kind of easy to figure because you can see the arrows are pointing this way. This
Yeah.
is the front tire, and that's not so tough. Some of the road tires are a little bit more difficult to see.
Right.
But usually they'll give you a rotation arrow. And sometimes you'll see some are set up for front, some are set up or front or rear, same tire, but you reverse the rotation
Right.
depending on whether they're going front or rear. So
Get
directional.
that, guys? Whether you're coming from the front or the rear, you gotta change the rotation. So instead of a clockwise, oh wait, that's a different video. I'm sorry. My bad. That's the other channel. That's the Skin and Mac After Dark channel. Brandon's corrupted me. You guys go all the way back to the beginning. I was innocent.
Yes.
And then this
So we're
guy.
ready for sealant. Pro tip too, we always line up the logo with the valve. It's just a nice little touch that,
Yeah.
a little sign of attention to detail,
Yep.
shall we say.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
Now the sealant about 4 ounces or so for a tire this size.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, I don't really measure it out. I just go,
That's what I do.
yeah.
Well, I've
Figure if
got
I
one
put,
of those.
I figure if I put more in, it's not the worst thing because it's
No.
Arizona, and it's gonna
gonna
A,
use
dry
it.
up, or you're gonna use it all.
I actually have that syringe thing because it's just easier to pull the core and do it that way.
Yeah.
In the garage, but
And
yeah.
that's what you should do if you are already established.
Yeah, but for this, yeah, you're
For
right.
this, we're just gonna pour it in.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
you guys can't look at that.
And hopefully I can do this without using levers.
Right? I think you
That
guys,
is-
those Maxxis tires are actually pretty pliable,
They're
dude.
not bad. These are not bad.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. All right, now we got to
All
pop that bead. Here we go, guys.
Hopefully, now if the if we have a little bit of like gunk in there and we don't get a lot of good airflow, we can always remove the valve core and get faster airflow out of it.
Yeah.
But we'll see how this goes. Easy.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll get some good pops out
Pop.
of her.
Pop. Well,
Yep.
there we go.
One more.
There we go. Come on, baby. Come on. Hey.
That's what we like. One wheel down, Remember to put your fancy cap back on.
They were fancy on the 920s. On the Braille, it's funny, if you look at the other rims, I didn't ride caps. And people would ask me, how come we don't have caps on there? I don't know. They just haven't gotten around to it, I guess.
We don't like caps around here. I'm not going to lie to you. Especially at on Prestas. And, you know, Prestas are not going to get a bunch of stuff inside. If I have
they won't. If it's a
Schrader
valve,
one,
it's a
I'll
different
put a
story.
cap on there.
Yeah.
So. There we go. Line up the logo. Direction is correct.
Now, if you guys look back, and I'll link one of the videos up below, or up below.
Our tubeless setup?
Up top, where we talk about tubeless setup and everything like that. We have a whole video dedicated to tubeless, and why you should ride tubeless, the benefits and everything like that. So that's going to be in a card linked up top. Check that out. Hopefully you will find it illuminating. And it just kind of settled.
Yeah.
Don't let it leak out the back. Oh, that's not that much, dude. You had more on the other one.
All right, put some more in.
Man, schmutz, dude.
It's a dirty job.
It is a dirty job. Isn't that a show on Discovery Channel?
I think so.
Dirty Jobs?
Now, if your tire is tough to get on, the tip that we use in that old video is you're going to start away from the valve and end at the valve.
Yeah.
But these are good enough. These aren't so
no.
difficult that you can go do it by hand all the way.
Hopefully we don't jinx ourselves.
Yes.
We got the direction going the right way and everything.
Oh yeah. That's always fun when you get it all put together and you figure it out you put it on wrong.
Yep. Because then you got all that juju in there.
Yeah.
It's,
Ah, so nice.
Yep. So kind of funny, guys.
We're almost
For
done.
16, almost 17 years, I was an industrial commercial plumber. And one of the things you have to use when you're soldering copper is flux. Dude, I've been in all kinds of horrible working conditions. Dirty, mud. I never chased turds, though. I wasn't a service plumber. But the cap's actually down there. Oh, yeah, turd herders. That's what we called the service plumbers. They weren't real plumbers. They thought they were real plumbers, but they weren't. I couldn't handle getting the flux on my hands. And it would always make my coworkers, my subordinates, freaking just be like, seriously, dude, you're a plumber. You don't like getting flux on your hands? I don't know. It was a consistency thing. So
Those are ready to roll. Next step is to get them on the bike and just verify that the shifting is still accurate with the new wheel set.
Yeah. So
The new old wheel set.
Yep. All right, guys.
That wasn't too bad.
No,
Pretty smooth.
wasn't too bad at all.
Looks good. Looks sexy with new tires.
Yeah.
You always gotta like that.
Oh yeah. Oh, new shoes. She's gonna ride like a champ. And I really can't wait to get these out on the trail and see how they perform.
Yeah.
So Sunday and Tuesday we'll put them through the paces for sure.
Good.
So, all right, guys. Well, there's no sense in showing the rest of the boring ass shit that we're gonna do. So we'll spare you from that. There's going to be another link up below, so you can check out our older episodes of Toolbox Topic. Whoa, I think this actually makes number 55. So we're moving along.
All right.
We're cruising on our way to 100, probably by the end of the year. It'll be exciting. But before we go, we got to ask you to do a couple things. So there's some links down below. First, we're going to ask you to hit the like and subscribe button, as well as the bell notification icon. That way, anytime there's a new video, you'll be one of the first ones to know. And it helps out the video and the channel as well as far as the algorithm. There's going to be a link down below for Trek Bicycle Stores of West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona, where the cool kids hang out, and me. You can give a call, follow that link, talk to Brandon, talk to any of the guys that work here. And there's 2 gals that work here too, so we shouldn't be, it's not like it's a sausage fest all the time. So they'll be more than happy to help you with any questions you had about today's video, or bikes in general, whether it be road, mountain, cruiser, whatever the case. So and also a big thanks to these guys for hosting the show every week. There's also going to be links to our social media. That's going to be Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I know it's the devil's work, but we have to. You could follow those, click those links, follow us on the social media, and you'll be kept up to date on all the day-to-day affairs of Get Out Arizona. The other links below for any items, consumables, anything like that. Some of those, whoa, sassy.
It's good.
Yeah. Some of those might be affiliate links, okay? And we have to let you know that. So if you click one of those links and you make a qualifying purchase, we may receive a small commission, though you will not be charged any more money. And it's nice because it helps out with gas, coffee, and park passes, which are important for any hiking, kayaking, mountain biking adventure, road biking adventure, however you want to put it. So Man, Brandon, is there anything else before we close out?
No, it's pretty good. I'm
Yeah.
glad it went smooth.
Yeah, no, it did. There was a whole lot of room for potential for error there. So it's a win. It's a victory. So, all right, guys, what do we tell you all the time? Be kind to yourself and others. Be amazing stewards out on that trail. And we have to ask, what are you waiting for?
Get out, Arizona.
Yeah. We'll see you on that next adventure. Take care, everybody. Brandon, thanks again, man.
Of course.
We'll see you next week.
Oh, yeah.